This is my new favourite keyboard. I love typing on it, it sounds great, it has such a unique look to it, and for the RGB fans, it has a lot of customization to offer. And the most unique part? The escape key is a monster. This is the Melgeek Mojo68 Monster mechanical keyboard. Hey, I'm Chris, and Melgeek kindly reached out to me around 2 months ago and asked if I'd like to review this, the Mojo68 keyboard. After various back and forth emails, it finally turned up last week, and I absolutely love it. It's available in a few colours and designs, but I opted to go for the monster version with Gateron Pro White switches. I thought the dark blue would suit my setup and help it stand out a bit. In the past, I've always gone for red or brown switches, so going for the Gateron Pro Whites seemed like a nice change. This setup will set you back $229 at the time of recording, and that makes my eyes water. Almost as watery as seeing that over 95% of my viewers are not subscribed. But before you let the price put you off, let's go through what's great about this keyboard and all the things in which I think it could be improved upon. Firstly, I want to talk about how they advertise this keyboard. I had no idea that it came with these cool Godzilla inspired keycaps. There was nowhere on the website which mentioned or showed them off on the listing, so it was a nice surprise when I found them in the box. You've got a Godzilla monster escape key and a King Ghidorah enter button. There's even a nice little message inscribed into the board that reads, "Need keyboard, not friends." I mean, can't I have both? The packaging it arrives in is also very nice and professional. I love the look of it, and the keyboard itself is made of a hard plastic transparent shell with a gasket mounting system which is surrounded by silicone and poron to create a more comfortable and elastic feel, while dampening the sound. And yes, I did just rip that straight from the description. All I can tell you is that it feels amazing to type on, the sound is really good, and despite it being made of plastic, it actually weighs quite a bit. And I dropped it, so it's still working. In the box, you'll get a very handy booklet which goes through all the functions of the keyboard and how to set it up. There's a key remover, a few spare keys, and the most boring looking USB-C cable. I know Melgeek sells braided cables, so I would have loved to have seen one of these included as it is a very expensive keyboard. The keyboard can be used with Bluetooth 5.2, a USB-C cable, or with their own supplied receiver. It supports up to 8 device profiles, which is pretty nuts, so that means if you have loads of devices like me, you can connect it to a Mac, a PC, an iPad, your phone, TV, Xbox, PlayStation, the lot. And to top it off, it's compatible with Windows, Linux, macOS, Android, and iOS. So pretty much everything you could use a keyboard with is covered. It's a 68 key layout, which means there's no number pad or function row. You have programmable RGB lighting with a range of modes and colours to choose from, and a function button which can control actions like media keys, print screen, and more. The battery life for the past week I've been using it has been pretty spectacular. I usually turn off RGB on my keyboards as it does drain the battery quite badly, but surprisingly after a week and an average daily use of around 10 hours a day, I still have around 80% battery left. So I really do believe that this will last the advertised 240 hours if I turn the RGB off. But we all know why you're here. Let's talk about that sweet sultry sound of the keys. Are you ready for some ASMR? Here's a quick keyboard sound test for you. Those Gateron Whites sound so good, don't they? I really like it. So let's now do a quick back and forth comparison with my Gateron Reds I have on my Keychron K2. The Melgeek sounds so much better to me. It's less clangy and loose, but you let me know what you think sounds best in the comments below. And it doesn't just sound good, the keyboard itself is set up in a really comfortable angle for typing. Even with a broken wrist, I had no troubles typing on it for long periods, but you are locked into this one angle with no way to adjust it, so do make sure you know that before you consider buying one yourself. The keyboard is fully customizable using the KBTools software that you can download from their website. This software gives you control over individual keys, lighting, power and more. It's a smart and easy to use program, but it did take me a while to find out how to change the language, as the version that is currently released was set to Chinese by default. I don't speak Chinese, so I headed over to their Discord channel to find out how to change this. Despite this, there are a lot of handy features with the software, like firmware update tools, the ability to control when the keyboard goes to sleep, seeing your battery charge level, and you can even rename the keyboard itself. When it comes to key placement, you can change these in KBTools. I instantly switched the command and option buttons around as they were incorrectly positioned when using a Mac. It was easy to do, but I wish this were the correct way around from the get-go. As there's no function row, the usual shortcuts for macOS like Expose, Launchpad and Media keys are hidden with a combination of function key and right control keystrokes. I couldn't find an option for these control keystrokes for Expose in the software, so I'm stuck with the keyboard's default macros for this. When it comes to RGB, it's not the brightest and there's no way of adjusting the brightness on this keyboard. You can only turn it on and off and adjust the colours. There is a lot of customization available, like individual keys can be programmed to certain colours, but I think they missed a great trick with this keyboard by not illuminating the entire outside edge of it. Yes, it lights up from time to time, but it needs to be quite dark for you to notice, and even then, it's not the brightest. I'll show it on camera, but if it looks bad, it's probably my camera skills making it look worse. Despite me saying it's quite heavy, the outer shell is plastic and there is a lot of flex to it. But fortunately, that flex isn't translated to when you're laying it flat on the table and you're typing away. Surprisingly, despite missing the function row, the keyboard is only a tiny bit smaller than my Keychron K2, which also features a full-size enter key, a function row, and an aluminium frame. This is because the frame around the keys does extrude quite a lot. The keyboard has these 3 handy LEDs at the bottom left to indicate which connection you're using, when the caps lock is on, and when you're about to run out of battery. But seeing this has highlighted that my caps lock key is very temperamental, and it almost feels like you have to hold it down to get it to work consistently. Now, I don't use this keyboard exclusively for my Mac, I also use it for my PC, which I like to use for gaming, and this is where I'd like to highlight a handy feature that's built right into the keyboard. When you switch your Bluetooth profile to PC, it will automatically detect what system you're on and switch your keyboard layout to match. But just like the Mac, my Windows key and left Alt key are set by default the wrong way round, but luckily this was a quick fix in KBTools. There is one problem I do have with KBTools, and that is it will only detect your keyboard when it is connected to your PC or Mac with a USB cable or using the supplied dongle. It won't work with Bluetooth for some reason, so I'm hoping they can get this fixed with a future update. Now, with all the good and bad out of the way, the question is, do I think that this keyboard right here is worth $229? I'm going to say yes it is. It's more expensive than my old Keychron K2 and it is made out of plastic, but I love the layout, how it types, how it sounds, and I love the customization that KBTools brings. Yes, $229 is expensive for a keyboard, but think of the alternative of building your own. My friend Robbie did just that last year at a cost of around $500, and even then he went the budget route. There was some soldering involved and he even had to lube every single key by hand. Which then begs the question, how much do you value your time? Do you think you could build your own, or would you prefer to buy something that's ready-made and going to work? That's entirely up to you, and whether you think $229 is a small price to pay for a premium mechanical keyboard. All I know is that I don't have the patience to build my own, and this is definitely replacing my Keychron K2. So if you happen to find this review useful, I would love it if you hit that thumbs up button, as it really does help the channel. If you're not subscribed already and like this sort of content, please consider subscribing, as I do post them quite frequently, and drop a comment letting me know what you think about the keyboard below. Thank you so much for watching, and take care.